Stop for a second and think. How many years have you been learning English, yet the moment you try to speak, your mind goes blank? You know the words, you understand the grammar, you've watched countless videos and maybe even completed courses, but real conversations still feel stressful and unnatural. This is not because you lack intelligence or confidence. It's not because your pronunciation is bad or your vocabulary is weak. The real problem is much deeper and far more logical. You are trying to grow English in an environment where English barely exists. Language is not learned the way we learn subjects. It is absorbed. Children don't study grammar rules, yet they speak fluently because their environment forces repetition, listening, thinking, and responding every single day. Adults fail not because they can't learn, but because their daily life keeps pulling them back into their native language. In this video, I'm not going to give you random tips or motivational advice. I'm going to show you how to redesign your daily life so that English becomes a natural part of it. Not for 1 hour of study, but throughout your entire day. You don't need to move to another country. You don't need expensive courses or special talent. You need a smart English environment, built through your phone, your thoughts, your routine, and your conversations. By the end of this video, you won't be asking how to improve your English. You'll understand why English was never improving before, and how to make it stay with you permanently. Why English environment beats English books. Let's be brutally honest. Most people don't fail at English because they're bad at grammar. They fail because their environment is killing their progress. You can memorize vocabulary, watch one motivational video, and even complete a full English course. But if your daily life is still running in your native language, English will never stick. Language is not knowledge. Language is a habit, and habits are built by environment, not by motivation. Think scientifically. Your brain is a pattern recognition machine. It learns fastest from repetition plus context plus necessity. That's exactly how you learned your first language. Nobody taught you grammar rules at age 2. You learned because you were surrounded by the language all day, every day. English works the same way. If English exists only for 1 hour of study and disappears for the remaining 23 hours, your brain treats it as optional data and deletes it. This is why people who move to another country suddenly start speaking fluently without studying grammar books. Their environment forces them to listen, respond, think, and survive in that language. No environment equals no pressure. No pressure equals no growth. Simple logic. So instead of asking, how do I learn English fast, the smarter question is, how do I trap myself inside English? An English environment doesn't mean living abroad or talking to foreigners. That's a myth. An English environment means your inputs and outputs are controlled. What you listen to, what you read, what you think in, and what you speak, these 4 things decide your fluency. If even 2 of these are still in your native language, your progress slows down massively. From today, stop treating English like a subject. Treat it like your operating system. Phones don't run apps without an OS. Similarly, your brain won't run fluent English without an English-based environment. In the next parts, I'll show you how to build this environment step by step, at home, on your phone, alone, without money, and without anyone's help. For now, remember this one line. You don't need better English skills. You need a smarter English environment. Kill the native language default inside your brain. The biggest enemy of English fluency is not fear. It's automatic thinking in your native language. Your brain wakes up, thinks, reacts, plans, worries, all in default mode. English never even gets a chance. And then people wonder, why can't I speak fluently? Because fluency starts before the mouth opens. It starts in the head. Here's a hard truth. You don't speak English because you don't think in English. And you don't think in English because your environment never demands it. Your brain is lazy but logical. It always chooses the fastest route. Native language equals fastest. English equals slow, effort, buffering. So the brain avoids it. Now let's flip this scientifically. You don't need to force English everywhere. You need to replace micro moments. Small internal conversations. For example, when you wake up, don't say anything in your head in your native language. Say simple English lines like, okay, new day. What's the plan? When you're brushing your teeth, narrate actions in English. I'm brushing. The water is cold. I'm late. This may sound childish, but neurologically, this is gold. Your brain doesn't care about sophistication. It cares about frequency. Simple English repeated daily beats advanced English studied once a week. When you convert routine thoughts into English, you are literally rewiring neural pathways. This is not motivation talk. This is how neuroplasticity works. Another powerful trick: decision thinking. Every time you make a choice, what to eat, what to watch, whether to go out, force yourself to frame the decision in English. Should I eat now or later? This video looks boring. I'll do it tomorrow. These sentences are small, but they train real-time thinking, not exam English. At first, your brain will resist. You'll feel slow. That's normal. Slowness is proof that learning is happening. If something feels smooth, it means the brain is using old wiring. Growth always feels awkward initially. Push through that phase and suddenly English stops feeling foreign. It starts feeling normal. Once English becomes your thinking language for even 30 to 40% of the day, speaking becomes automatic. Words come faster, pauses reduce, confidence rises, not because you believe in yourself, but because your brain already rehearsed the language internally. In the next part, we'll upgrade your environment digitally, phone, apps, content, and media, because whatever you consume daily silently controls your English level. Turn your phone into an English-only zone, no mercy mode. Your phone is not entertainment. It's a language-shaping machine. Whatever language dominates your screen will dominate your brain. If your phone screams your native language 8 to 10 hours a day and English appears for just 30 minutes of study, guess which one wins? Exactly. Step 1. Change your phone language to English. Not tomorrow. Not after I improve. Now. Yes, it will feel uncomfortable for 2 to 3 days. That discomfort is learning. Buttons, settings, notifications, all of it becomes passive reading practice. You won't even realize how many words you absorb daily. Step 2. Social media detox, but intelligently. Don't quit Instagram or YouTube. Just change the input. Unfollow creators who speak your native language for time-pass content. Follow English creators who speak clearly, slowly, and with context. Vlogs, interviews, podcasts, street conversations. Real English, not textbook English. This matters because the brain learns pronunciation, rhythm, and sentence flow subconsciously. You don't learn speaking by memorizing rules. You learn by exposure. That's why kids copy accents without effort. If your feed is English, your inner voice slowly copies English. Now let's talk YouTube strategy. Stop watching random English videos. Pick one accent first, American or British, and stick to it. Mixing accents early confuses beginners. Choose one and lock in. Watch content where you can see faces and lips. Visual cues improve comprehension massively. Use subtitles smartly. First watch with English subtitles on. Then re-watch small parts with subtitles off. This trains listening without dependency. If you don't understand something, don't panic. Your brain doesn't need 100% understanding to learn. Even 60 to 70% is enough for improvement. Here's a powerful rule: no native language content before noon. Mornings are when your brain is most plastic. Feed it English first. Even 20 to 30 minutes daily compounds insanely over months. Phones already control your habits. You're not becoming addicted. You're reprogramming. Same time, different input, totally different results. In the next part, I'll show you how to speak English daily even when you're alone. No friends, no classes, no awkwardness. Speak daily even if you're alone, no human required. One of the biggest excuses people use is, I don't have anyone to speak English with. That excuse made sense 15 years ago. Today, it's outdated. You don't need a human. You need output practice. Speaking is a muscle, and muscles don't care who you train with. They care how often. Start with self-speaking, but do it properly. Not random sentences. Structured speaking. Pick one daily topic, your day, a problem, a video you watched, an opinion. Set a 5-minute timer and speak non-stop in English. No pauses. No switching languages. If you forget a word, describe it. This forces your brain to think creatively instead of quitting. Now here's where technology becomes your cheat code. You can literally use ChatGPT as a speaking partner. Talk to it, type to it, ask it to correct you, or ask follow-up questions. This is gold for comprehension and confidence. You can say, "Talk to me in simple English," or "Ask me questions like an interview." You control the difficulty level, something real people won't do. When you interact with ChatGPT daily, you remove fear completely. No judgment, no embarrassment, just practice. This is scientifically powerful because fear blocks language output. Remove fear, output increases. Increase output, fluency follows. Another underrated trick: voice notes. Record yourself explaining something in English, your thoughts, a news story, a lesson. Then listen after a few hours. You'll catch mistakes instantly. This builds self-correction skills, which is what fluent speakers naturally have. Don't chase perfection, chase consistency. 5 minutes of daily speaking beats 1 hour once a week. Fluency doesn't come from big effort days. It comes from small, boring, daily repetition. Once speaking becomes normal, the next bottleneck is understanding fast English, movies, podcasts, real conversations. That's what we'll break in the next part. Train your ears before training your mouth. Most learners try to speak first and then complain, "I don't understand native speakers." That's backwards. Language is first heard, then processed, then spoken. If your listening is weak, your speaking will always feel forced and slow. Your ears need training, not motivation. Fast English sounds like noise because your brain hasn't built sound patterns yet. The solution is daily, focused listening, not random movies playing in the background. Start with slow, clear English. Interviews, explainer videos, podcasts made for learners, or calm vlog-style content. The goal is comprehension, not entertainment. Listen actively for 10 to 20 minutes. No multitasking. Try to catch main ideas, not every word. Here's a high ROI method: shadowing. Play a short English clip, 30 to 60 seconds. Listen once. Then play again and speak along with the speaker, copying speed, pauses, and tone. This trains pronunciation, rhythm, and confidence together. It's uncomfortable, that's why it works. Now about movies and web series. Stop using them wrongly. Don't binge watch hoping English will magically improve. Instead, pick one episode. Watch it with English subtitles. Pause. Repeat lines. Notice how sentences are shortened, connected, and simplified compared to textbook English. Another crucial habit: stop translating in your head. Translation slows comprehension. Instead of converting English right pointing arrow native language right pointing arrow meaning, directly connect English right pointing arrow meaning. This takes time, but it's the difference between learners and fluent speakers. If you understand 60% today, tomorrow it becomes 65%, then 70%. This is compound growth. Your brain adapts faster than you think, if you feed it consistently. Once your ears are trained, speaking becomes easier because you already know how English should sound. In the next part, we'll design a daily English routine that fits real life, even if you're busy, broke, or inconsistent. Build a daily English system, not a motivation-based routine. Now let's get real. Motivation is unstable. Some days you feel fired up, some days you feel dead inside. If your English progress depends on motivation, it will collapse sooner or later. What actually works is a system, something so integrated into your day that skipping English feels weird, not difficult. First, understand this clearly. You don't need more time. You need better placement of English inside the time you already waste. Scrolling, commuting, eating, waiting, these are hidden gold mines. The goal is not to sit and study English, but to live English passively and actively throughout the day. Here's a realistic structure. Morning, light English input. Even 10 to 15 minutes is enough. News summary, a short podcast, or a calm YouTube video in English. No pressure to understand everything. This primes your brain. Think of it like warming up before exercise. Your brain switches to English mode early, and that mode stays active longer. Afternoon, micro-thinking in English. While doing normal work, consciously convert small thoughts into English. planning, reacting, judging, deciding, all in simple English sentences. This is not study, this is brain training. Over time, this becomes automatic, and you'll notice that English thoughts start popping up without effort. Evening. Output time. Speaking or writing. This is non-negotiable. Even 5 minutes is fine, but it must happen daily. Talk to yourself, record a voice note, or talk to ChatGPT. Ask it questions, explain your day, debate a topic, summarize what you watched. Output forces clarity. If input builds data, output builds skill. Night. Passive listening. English audio while relaxing. No stress. Let your brain absorb patterns while you're calm. This is how accents and flow sneak into your system silently. The key idea is repetition without exhaustion. You're not doing hard English every time. You're mixing light input, real thinking, and small output. That's how languages are naturally acquired. This system works even if your English is weak, even if you're inconsistent, even if you miss a day. Because systems forgive mistakes. Motivation doesn't. In the next part, we'll tackle a silent killer of fluency, fear, hesitation, and the obsession with correctness, and how to completely destroy it using logic. Destroy fear, hesitation, and the perfect English trap. Let's talk psychology, because this is where most learners silently lose the game. Fear of making mistakes. Fear of sounding stupid. Fear of being judged. This fear doesn't come from English, it comes from social conditioning. Somewhere along the way, you were taught that mistakes are shameful. That mindset is toxic for language learning. Here's the rational truth. Mistakes are data. Your brain literally needs errors to update itself. No mistakes equals no feedback equals no improvement. Expecting perfect English while learning is like expecting perfect balance on the first day of cycling. It's irrational. Now understand this deeply. Fluent speakers do not speak grammatically perfect English. They speak fast, simple, and confidently. Communication beats correctness. If your message is understood, English has done its job. Grammar can be refined later. Fluency cannot. Hesitation happens because your brain is doing too many things at once. Translating, checking grammar, choosing words, worrying about judgment. That's cognitive overload. The fix is not, practice more grammar. The fix is lowering standards during speaking. Give your brain permission to speak broken English. Seriously, broken English spoken daily is infinitely more powerful than perfect English spoken once a month. Speed first, accuracy later. This is how the brain naturally optimizes language. A brutal but effective rule: never stop mid-sentence. Even if the sentence is wrong, finish it. Pausing kills flow and confidence. Finish the thought, then move on. Your brain learns flow, not fear. Another mental hack: speak as if nobody is listening, because in practice, nobody is judging as much as you think. Most people are busy worrying about themselves. This isn't motivation talk, it's psychological reality. Use ChatGPT here again strategically. Ask it to correct your sentences after you speak, not during. This separates fluency training from accuracy training. Mixing them together ruins both. Once fear drops, fluency jumps automatically. Confidence is not something you build. It's a side effect of repeated survival without damage. You speak, nothing bad happens, brain relaxes, repeat. In the next part, we'll upgrade your English environment to real-life situations, outside your room, outside your phone. Create real-life English triggers outside your room. Up to now, most of your English environment has been internal, thinking, digital, phone, or controlled, practice. That's good, but fluency truly locks in when English enters real life, where responses are not rehearsed and situations are unpredictable. This is where confidence becomes real. The mistake people make is waiting for perfect English before using it outside. That day never comes. The correct approach is the opposite. Use English early in low-risk situations. Order food in English when possible. Ask for directions in English. Talk to customer care in English even if they switch languages. Politely continue. These are micro-exposures, but they rewire fear responses. You don't need long conversations. Even one sentence counts. Could you help me with this? I'm looking for. What does this mean? These phrases repeated in real contexts build automatic recall. The brain remembers language better when it's tied to emotion and action. Another powerful trigger. Explain things. If you understand something, a concept, a process, a problem, explain it in English to someone or even to yourself. Teaching forces clarity. If you can explain something simply, you actually know it. This turns English from a subject into a tool. If your environment doesn't allow English naturally, create artificial pressure. Join English voice rooms, discussion groups, or online communities. But don't lurk. Speak. Even one line is progress. Comfort zones don't produce fluency, exposure does. One more mental shift. Stop measuring yourself against fluent speakers. Measure yourself against yesterday's version. Did you hesitate less? Did you think faster? Did you finish sentences more smoothly? That's real progress. By now, English should start feeling less like a foreign task and more like another mode. In the final parts, we'll lock this in long-term and make sure you never fall back. Lock the English environment long-term, no falling back. Here's something nobody warns you about. Even after improving English, people fall back. Not because they forgot English, but because their environment slowly shifts back to default. Native language content creeps in, English practice reduces, and the brain takes the fastest route again. This isn't failure, it's predictable behavior. So the real goal is not just creating an English environment, but stabilizing it. First, anchor English to your identity, not your goal. Stop saying, "I'm learning English." Start operating as someone who uses English. This subtle mindset shift changes behavior automatically. You don't practice English anymore, you live with it. Second, fix minimum daily exposure. Even on your worst day, English must appear in your life. 5 minutes of listening, 1 paragraph of thinking, 1 short message or voice note. This is your non-negotiable baseline. Consistency beats intensity every single time. Third, rotate content, not language. People get bored and quit. Instead of quitting English, change what you consume, topics, creators, formats. Curiosity keeps the environment alive. Fourth, keep one English-only space permanently. Maybe your phone, maybe your YouTube, maybe your journal, something that never switches back. This acts as a safety net when motivation dies. Also, stop waiting for confidence to return before speaking. Confidence is a byproduct, not a prerequisite. Speak first. Confidence follows. By this stage, English should feel usable, not perfect, and that's exactly where real fluency starts. In the final part, I'll give you a clear summary framework and a mindset that makes English irreversible. Once built, it never disappears. Make English irreversible, the final mental framework. Let's end this logically and cleanly. English becomes permanent not when you learn enough, but when your brain has no reason to uninstall it. Languages disappear only when they stop being useful. So the final step is usefulness, not practice. English must serve a purpose beyond improvement. Use it to learn skills, earn money, explore ideas, consume knowledge, and express opinions. When English becomes the medium instead of the goal, your brain protects it automatically. Nobody forgets a language that helps them survive or grow. Now compress everything into one simple framework. Input right pointing arrow thinking right pointing arrow output right pointing arrow environment reinforcement. Input daily through English content. Think in English during real decisions. Output daily through speaking or writing. Reinforce by keeping English visible everywhere. If one part breaks, fluency weakens. If all four exist, fluency is inevitable. Also understand this. You don't need native level English. You need functional dominance, where English responds faster than your native language in common situations. That's real fluency. Use ChatGPT smartly here. Treat it as a non-judgmental English mirror. Talk, ask, explain, argue, summarize. Increase difficulty gradually. This simulates real interaction without fear, something most learners never get. Finally, stop chasing confidence. Confidence is just familiarity. When something becomes familiar, fear disappears. No affirmations, no fake positivity, just repetition inside a well-designed environment. If you build the environment, English will build itself. That's it. Not motivation, not talent. System plus exposure plus time. You now know how to create an English environment anywhere in the world.